Happy Friday! It's finally Friday. It's here. It's been a long week for me because my first week back after vacation, and so my eating's been off. My sleeping's been off. In fact, I slept a little bit later today. Felt really tired. I went to bed early last night, earlier than my normal early. So I don't know. It just my body has to readjust. And it's not like I went wild last week on vacation. I still got up fairly early, between 7 and 8, and went to bed fairly early. Although I did have big breakfasts every morning, and so I'm noticing I'm more hungry in the morning this week. So kind of tapering that off. It's been a challenge. But what I really wanted to come on here and say and talk about is the mindfulness of breath. And I think a lot of us take for granted our breathing. I know it sounds funny, but we breathe automatically. So why do we need to focus on breath? And why do we, why is all this big to do about breathing techniques and whatnot? But when we focus on our breath, when we actually take the time to concentrate in the feelings of the breath going in and out, the deep breathing, right down, diaphragm breathing right down to our gut, watching our, feeling our stomach rise and lower. We're really engaging the mind of being in the present moment. And a lot of times when we do meditation practices, they'll use that as a grounding technique. And what I mean by that is when we're doing meditation, whether it be guided visualizations, music, or any other kind of sounds or whatnot, our minds will wander, right? That's part of the practice. Our minds will always wander. That's what our minds do. It wanders. And sometimes, even with a guided meditation, your mind will wander without even realizing it. And then when you become mindful of your mind wandering, sometimes bringing it back to the breath, reminding yourself of inhaling, exhaling, however you moderate that, brings us back. And so that's called the grounding technique. Anything that can bring you back to grounding. Some people use aromatherapy, so certain smells can bring them back to grounding. I know some clients that have these little vials of aroma, that I call aroma, scents. And so that when they're having a panic attack or they're having a whatever, they can just open it up and smell it real quick. And that's another grounding technique. So breathing is so important. Practicing your meditation or your mindfulness breathing every day, even if you can only do it for a couple of minutes, this will make it so that when you do need it, it's more readily available. You're more apt to use it. And then try to practice throughout the day, right? So whatever you're doing, like while you're driving to work, take a couple of minutes to actually look into your breathing, right? There's more to it, but if you can start there, that's awesome. A lot of people, they'll do the paced breathing, we call it in DBT, and so that you can inhale for 4 breaths, hold it for 4 breaths, exhale for 5 breaths. And what I mean by that is you're counting. You're not actually going, it's 1 breath in for 4. And sometimes just the counting can help ground too, right? You're focusing on the numbers, the counting. But as you're counting, try to focus on what does it feel coming in my nostrils? What does it feel like going down my esophagus? What does it feel like in my stomach, right? In my diaphragm, in my mouth, whatever it is that you're breathing, my lips. Really try to focus on those parts of the body, either only just one, or all of them as they're being engaged in the breathing, as well as counting and slowing down the breath. right? So sometimes when we start a breathing exercise, our breathing may be more shallow and rapid. And with each breath, what we want to do is we want to focus on making them deeper and slower. And that helps engage the vagus nerve, which is part of the stress response system that we have, and it engages it to revert back to homeostasis, so we're not stressed out, we're not panicking. So I encourage you to practice this today. I hope you do. It has been a lifesaver for me. It's not something that's going to work right away necessarily. It may help you, just the breathing, calm you down for that moment. But it's a long-term practice that will really benefit you. It benefit you in so many ways, mentally, physically, spiritually even. So I encourage you to try it, even if you do it for a couple of minutes a day. Try to throughout the day just be aware of your breathing, and then take a couple of minutes while you're cooking, whatever it is while you're doing, just to take a couple of minutes. Maybe a break at work, right? When you're working and sitting at your desk, taking a break and just kind of like for a couple of minutes just focus on your breathing. I notice for me a lot of times when I become aware of my breathing, there are sometimes I catch myself holding my breath, and I don't exactly know why I do it. Maybe it's because I'm go and or I'm anticipating stress, or I'm anticipating a negative reaction. I don't know. I have to look into that more. But I do notice now that I'm becoming more mindful of my breath that it has been when I tune into my breathing, I'm like, oh, I've just been holding my breath. I don't know how long I've been holding it for, but I've been holding my breath. And there's sometimes and what caught my attention with this also is that throughout the day, I noticed myself sighing, like, right? And those were times when I was holding my breath, and then all of a sudden my body's like, we're not breathing. Oh, okay, I'm gonna breathe now, right? So my body knows to breathe. It's just it's probably a mental block somewhere that I'll have to look at. So if you notice yourself sighing, another sign that you may be holding your breath is yawning, right? So we're not getting enough breathing into enough oxygen. If we're not breathing, we're not getting enough oxygen to our brain. Our brain will yawn, and it's our brain's way of trying to get in some oxygen, right? When you're yawning, you're sucking in some oxygen all at once. So just be mindful of that. If you notice yourself yawning in the day, it's not necessarily that you're just tired. A yawning could be a sign that you're not breathing, or not breathing, deep breaths. You're breathing shallow. Or if you find yourself yawning, I said that already. If you find yourself sighing, sorry. These are live, so I don't edit them. So if you're hearing this, you know that that's the case. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button. Follow me on YouTube. You'll get all my videos, my free content. Oops. Wow, sliding there, Blip. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Recovery Enthusiast. You can check out my blogs and other free content, other information that I have, some courses that I have. You can get them on my business Facebook page, but you can also get them on my website. That's where you'll get my blog, actually. The only place I have my blog, I think. Anyways, it's recoveryenthusiast.com. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to let the people that you love know that you love them. Send them that text. Give them a great big hug. Even if you think they already know, send it anyway. Remind them. It always feels good to get a little text from somebody just reminding you that how much they care, right? And live your life enthusiastically, because there really isn't any other way. And until next time, guys, stay blessed. Peace.